Okay, what's up? I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to play Identikit by Radiohead. This is going to be the studio version. I just learned this and was surprised to see that there wasn't already a tutorial out there on YouTube somewhere, so figured I'd make one. I'm guessing that's because this song heavily relies on the dotted eighth note delay pattern to play. Other than that, it's not a very technically challenging song. It just requires some coordination ahead of time. So I'm going to show you how to set up your delay so that you can play the song properly. So I'm using the Boss RE202 Space Echo for this, but that you can use pretty much any delay. It doesn't even have to be tape delay. You're probably better off with a digital delay. I think the only thing is an analog delay might not have enough delay time. I think you need like 600 milliseconds for the studio version's delay. So you can use that if you're doing this like in post too in a DAW. If you just want to delay your audio track 600 milliseconds. But if you're doing this with a pedal, you're probably gonna have to tap that in. So you have to tap the dotted eighth note in, unless you want to just mess around with the rate knob and hope that you end up at the right rate. But I'm not going to do that. So if you're also using a tape delay, you kind of want to make sure that the repeats sound pretty much identical to the guitar's input. So you want to like turn down any saturation, wow, flutter, whatever, all the way down. No feedback, no nonsense. I just kind of want to sound like exactly like your guitar input, so make sure the mix volume is the same, and then you just gotta tap it in. So I think the studio recording of this song is like 150 beats per minute or something. If you're like playing along with a rhythm track or something, but to tap in the correct tempo, you have to sort of tap on the and of the note. So like 1 and a 2 and a, the numbers would be the quarter notes. The and is kind of that dotted eighth note. So kind of instead of tapping on 1, 2, you tap 1 and I'm sorry, I think I said and is the dotted eighth note. It's the that's the dotted eighth note. 1 and a 2 and a. So you can do that. You can also just kind of play it by ear. So I mean, in the part of the song, you can just sort of hear, like, I know when he plays that, you can kind of hear like how far away the delay is supposed to be. That's just me playing right now, but I already kind of have it set up. But you can just kind of play it by ear and sort of tap the bump, bump. So like bump, bump. Okay, so yeah, that's already good enough. I guess if you're just learning the song, you just got to get it good enough. If you're playing along, recording to like a studio version, then yeah, you're probably gonna have to actually get the tempo perfect. But for now, this will be good enough. Okay, so that's going to start us off. So that's going to start on the second fret of the low E string. I'm just going to hit that, let that ring out for a bit. And you're going to come down here to the 7th fret of the A string. You're going to hit that twice, and then let that repeat twice. So that's going to sound like, okay. Right after that, you're going to come down to the 11th fret of the A string, and then you're going to hit that 3 times, then hit the 12th fret once, back to the 11th fret once, and then way back to the second fret in the low E string and hit that once, all in a row. So that's going to sound like. Okay, so this is what it sounds like without delay. Alright, not really as cool. The delay is kind of a key part of the song. So you're going to do that a bunch of times, and then on the last time before the Broken Hearts Make It Rain come in, you're going to do a little. And that's just right after you hit the double 7 on the A. You're going to do that little walk down, which is 4 on the A to 2 on the A. And then it's going to be 5 on the low E, 4 on the low E, and then 2 on the low E. Alright, so it's going to be. Alright, and then now you're ready for the next part. You can also, if this jump is kind of a lot, you can try playing it on the D string. Might make it easier since you're a bit closer to that note, or you could even do it on the low E string. You get kind of a cool slide there. Also just feel free to throw in some, whatever. Some extra notes or whatever, That leads us into the next part, which is when the Broken Hearts Make It Rain come in. So let's take a look at that. We're going to focus on this B power chord, which is going to be 2nd fret A string, 4th fret D string, 4th fret G string, everything else muted for now, and we're going to be just playing that, changing the bass note around. So we're only going to be playing the downstrokes, and we're going to just let the delay repeat the upstrokes. So it's going to sound like. Okay, so that's just me hitting it twice. So we're going to start with this B power chord twice. Next, we're going to have the. We're going to take our pointer finger off and let the low A string ring out as the bass note. So when you do that, make sure to mute the low E string with your thumb and get. You can do that twice, and then we're going to have the 3rd fret low E string as our next bass note. You're going to want your finger to mute the A string now. And then you're going to do that twice, and then move on to the 2nd fret low E string, again, A string muted. And you're going to do that twice. So all together, that's. And then after that, you're just going to do the open low E string as the bass note. Make sure to leave your pointer finger resting on the A string to mute that now. So that sounds like this. We're going to do that 4 times. And then now we're ready to go back to the B note, the 2nd fret A string, and start that whole thing again. So altogether it's. We're going to do that 3 times, and then on the 4th time we come back to the B power chord. We're just going to play that 8 times in a row. So coming from the chord before, it's just going to sound like. and then we go into that octave part, which is right during the synth part, when the synths come in and the Broken Hearts Make It Rain gets higher. This is kind of drowned out by the synth for the first chunk of it. But what we're going to do here is basically we're going to be playing a pattern of 4 octaves, and we're going to do that 4 times in a row, but each time we're going to change the end a little bit. So the first 2 times is during the synth part, so that's kind of playing over it. The second 2 times is going to be pretty much just guitar focused. So let's take a look at those. The first octave is going to be F sharp octave, 2nd fret, low E string, and the 4th fret G string. No, D string. Yeah. Okay. And we're just playing the bass note, the low E string twice, and then the D string once. So it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna sound like. But we're just playing. Okay, kinda lame, but we do that twice in a row, and then we're gonna do a low E octave. So we're gonna hit that open E string twice, the same exact pattern as the previous octave. Low E string twice, open, and then the 2nd fret D string once. And then we're gonna do that 2 times in a row. You're also going to want to make sure that you're muting the low E string in between picks. So it's going to sound like. Okay, so those are the first 2 octaves, and then for this first set, you're just going to repeat those 2 octaves again. So all together, it's going to be. So that's first group, 1 out of 4 done. Okay, so the next time you go through the octaves, the first 2 are going to be the same. After that, we're going to come down to the 5th fret A string, and we're going to do a D octave. So it's going to be 7th fret G string, and we're just going to do the same pattern twice again. Okay, and then come back a fret and do octave on the 4th fret A string, 6th fret G string. And we're just going to do that once. And then we're going to do that same walk down we did earlier. Okay, so all together this time it sounds like. And then we're going to be back on that F sharp to start the next run again. But that's when the synths end and the guitar is now in focus. It's kind of drowned out. But once the synths end, we're going to start, I guess, the 3rd run through of the octaves, which is going to be pretty much exactly the same as the previous run, except we're going to do a different kind of little thing at the end there. So. Same thing through starting with F, E, D octaves. We get to this octave, and then this time instead of we're going to come to the 6th fret G string, and we're going to play 6, 7, 9, 6, and then get ready to jump back to the F sharp to start again. So that's going to sound at the end there just like. Okay, so that's the 3rd run through of the octaves. The last one, again, exactly the same, except we're not going to do that this time. This time we're going to go to the B string, 7th fret B string. And we're going to play 7, 9, 10, 7. So that's going to sound like. and then that's the end. So we don't go back to F sharp after that, and then we move on to the next section. So starting with the synths end. So first half of the octaves are done. I'm just gonna play through that real quick so you can hear what that sounds like. Okay, so that leads us into the next part, which is going to be more octaves. That same octave pattern we're doing again. This time we're just going to be moving around on the low E string. So after you do that little ending pattern, you're going to move to the 14th fret, low E string, and you're going to do that octave shape there. So that's going to be 16 on the D string, and you're going to do the same pattern. Do that pattern twice, and then we're going to move to the 16th fret, then down to the 12th fret, then to the 17th fret, down to the 10th fret, and then back to 16. And then we're going to do a little walk down. That is 10th fret on the low E string to 9th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret. Altogether it sounds like this. Okay, so that leads us to the end of the song, which is going to repeat that same octave pattern that we did before, but this time it's going to lead into the solo, which I'm not going to cover in this video. Maybe I'll do that in another video. It's just a bit more involved. It gets kind of messy, but basically start those same octaves, and then you end it with that same 6, 7, 9 pattern, but then you just keep repeating 6, 7, 9. And that's what leads into the solo. So that sounds like. Something like that. For now, if you want to improvise it, I think he's just moving around the B minor scale, slowly moving up, and then like up here he starts playing just all 16th notes, so now the delays are playing over the notes he's playing. Something like that. You just kind of improvise around there, just play, it's just kind of a mess. Whatever comes out will be fine. But yeah, that wraps up Johnny's part. Ed's got a couple of parts that he plays throughout the song, nothing too complicated, but I'll go into that now. Okay, so this is what's going on during the that power chord section. Ed is just playing the 12th fret B string. I've got a lot of reverb on, some modulated reverb, and a bit of vibrato. And if you've got a volume pedal, you could use that to kind of swell in. I'm just using the volume knob, but it's just kind of like a continuous, just ringing out of that. Just the 12th fret B string there, just over the power chords. So that's going on then. And then at the outro, right before the solo, you can hear sort of a... So that is going to be 9th fret, high E string, followed by 12th fret high E string. Again, we're kind of swelling these in, so just roll on some volume after you pick them. So 9th fret, 12th fret high E string, and 12th fret B string, 9th fret B string, back to the 9th fret high E string. And then after that, a little while later, you can hear I think that's it. So that is just 9, 12, 19 on the high E string. And I think that covers it.